Anointed Warriors. What's up, spiritual family? Welcome back to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose. If you guys are new to the channel and you are amongst those whom this ministry is specifically raised up for, if you are amongst those that are societal outcasts, if you've made mistakes, you've wronged others, made poor choices, others have wronged you, if you're amongst those who can see the shift that has taken place in collective society, and you see all the narcissistic tendencies, and you're just not with that. And as a result, you don't know which way to go. You're amongst those that the good book would refer to as lost. If you feel rejected by friends, family, collective society, if you feel persecuted as a result of you just being you, if you're physically sick, mentally fatigued, emotionally siphoned, if you're poor in spirit, lowly in spirit, poor in finances, if you're amongst the needy, then this ministry is for you, specifically for you. We're all we have. We all we got, people. Our good, clean-hearted fellowship, and this thing that we call God. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir when I say this, but here's a little cheat sheet. That's all we need. That's all we need. It's each other, in Him and through Him, and Him directly in and through each of us. So if you fall amongst those, anywhere in that group of individuals or collective humans that I just mentioned, collectives, categories, this ministry is for you. Please allow this ministry to do its will by fulfilling the purpose that He has prescribed for this ministry, i.e., please allow this ministry to do His will, which is to motivate you and to inspire you and encourage you, to uplift you, to nourish you, to unite all of you, all of us together in Him, because we're all we got. Please allow this ministry to fulfill the purpose that He has set for this ministry and for me, which is to lead you guys and to simultaneously follow you guys, because we all have something to teach one another. Please allow this ministry to serve you and to nourish you. I have a testimony that also serves what primarily, above first and far above anything else, it serves to honor and to glorify my Heavenly Father, our Heavenly Father, those of us who sincerely are amongst His anointed ones. It serves to glorify our Father. But it also serves secondarily as a resume, so to speak. It serves as an attempt to earn some cachet with you guys, in terms of, wow, if He did it for me, you know that God has to be with me. And there are some things in your life that He's done for you that looking back on or looking in the mirror right now today and considering what it is that you're faced with each and every day, you know that he's with you. Let the words of my personal testimony serve its purpose to nourish you and uplift you, because it's not about me. I'm not here because I'm lucky. I'm not here because I'm strong and, I'm smart and, I got things figured out, or none of that. I'm here because of him. I have no formal education to speak of. I went to the 6th grade, but only for a few weeks. I was born and raised in extreme poverty in the unforgiving streets, surrounded with drugs, gangs, violence of all kinds. I've suffered and endured both domestic abuse and domestic violence, gang affiliation to the most extensive and the most violent extent that you can imagine. Drug abuse, just the same. I was totally strung out on drugs. I faced incarceration beginning at the age of 11 up through the age of 34, which consisted of 3 separate sentences in the Juvenile Department of Corrections from the age of 11 through 16, which was immediately followed by 4 separate sentences in the Adult Department of Corrections, ranging from the age of 17 through 34. Along the way, there's been pretty much any kind of violent crime that you can mention, as well as any and other all kinds of blue and white collar crimes that you could think of. There's probably 100% chance that I've been arrested, charged, accused, and possibly sentenced for those crimes. Any crime that you can mention that is not a sex-related crime and that is not a murder crime. Besides that, there's probably 100% chance that I've done it. I've done wrong, and I've been wronged. I faced several bouts of extreme homelessness, not just homeless and not having a roof over my head, like homelessness. No clothes, no shelter, no food. I was diagnosed with clinical depression, anxiety, and I also had an eating disorder that led to me facing and through him overcoming obesity of over 70 pounds overweight. It's been almost 2.5 years since this thing that we call God, our Heavenly Father, has delivered me from those things. And since then, by His goodness, by His mercy, by His grace and His power, I've gone on to become a certified fitness trainer. I've gone on to become an all-natural professional bodybuilder. Started and founded my own personal fitness training company that's been in existence for roughly 20 years. And I've also started this ministry with the hopes of giving back, to inspire, to motivate, encourage you guys, and to simultaneously warn anybody that hasn't made those kinds of mistakes or other kinds of mistakes. Don't make them, because there's some pain down that road that you can't imagine. And not everybody comes back from that, going down that treacherous path. If you haven't made those mistakes, don't make them. I'd be honored to assist you in any way that I can. Game plans, strategies, financially, any way that I can assist you. Don't go down that path. Conversely, if you have made those mistakes, I'd be honored to assist you with information, insight, protocols, financially, in any way that I can, to say, hey, even though you've made those mistakes, I don't care how many they are, I don't care how long you've been making them, if you're for real about overcoming them, He's not going to leave you, He's not going to forsake you. There is hope through faith. And again, some of you guys have very similar stories. Some of you guys have trials and tribulations of the most gruesome kind that does not, that don't walk lockstep in hand with the kinds of trials and tribulations that I faced, but they were enormous nevertheless. And you know that it was God all along that gave you the victory or continues to give you the strength to fight on if it's something that you're currently facing. Let no one tell you, let no situation, no set of circumstances, not what's in your bank account, what's not in your bank account. Not if your relationship is working, not if you're struggling with personal development. Let nothing rob you of that fact that you know that God is real. You've seen him and you continue to see him operate in your life each and every day. And as long as you don't stop for nothing, then nothing can stop you. Keep putting him first, guys. Be uplifted by that testimony. Be reminded that he is on the throne. And if he did it for somebody like me, he'll do it for anybody. Guaranteed. In accordance with his promise. He's already said it. Those are not my words. Those are his words. Now let's get into today's session, if we will, or if we can, please. We're going to be talking about the fact that we're not all created equal. Based on the testimony that I just gave you, myself, based on your own testimony, you know, maybe you haven't thought about it like this, or maybe you have. But you know in your heart of hearts that we are not all created equal. This is a very trifling. This is a very malicious and diabolical enemy that we're up against. And this same enemy, based on the information that he has indoctrinated all of us, including myself, to be a part of, from birth, being born into this, with the hot button phrase nowadays is called matrix. Being born into this matrix and indoctrinated with all of these different beliefs. When you hear that on the surface, it might be very controversial. Someone out there may have clicked the button and switched the videos and automatically. And yet the truth remains. We are not all created equal. This is a very intentional misnotion that has been very meticulously plotted, planned, and implemented into our lives. And I'm going to get into that. And I'm going to get into why it's important for you to know and to embrace the fact that we're not all created equal. Right off the bat, guys, it's important for us to know this because, as I just mentioned, the enemy, the insidious ones, the practitioners of darkness, the disciples of darkness, they implemented this misnotion in an effort to weaponize this misnotion against us. We're all created equal. I ask you a question, a hypothetical question. Is an ant equal to an elephant? So just imagine an ant seeking to convince the elephant that they're both equal. seeking to convince the elephant that the ant is equal to the elephant and the elephant is equal to the ant in terms of strength, power, toughness, size, the whole shebang. The purpose of this manipulation is so that the ant can turn right around and attack the elephant, to overcome the elephant, to control, to dominate, to subjugate the elephant. For the very specific purpose of its own survival. The ant knows that if the elephant just shows up, the ant has no say-so. The ant has no chance of even surviving. The elephant can walk and stand and sit and lay and do what he wants to do without giving the ant not even a modicum of thought. So this light that you carry, just like when you turn your light switch on in your house or you light up a candle, the darkness doesn't have any chance. It must instantaneously flee. So imagine that darkness, like that ant. The darkness is trying to convince the light that they're both even in terms of power. Or there's a struggle going on here. And it's a struggle because we're equal. We have the same amount of power. We have the same amount of authority. And the devil is a lie. The ant's very survival is contingent upon its ability to convince the elephant that they're both equal. As I mentioned a couple of moments ago, the enemy is brilliant in his deception. Brilliantly deceptive. And this very simple yet profound point that's being put forth here is a primary example of that. You know, it's not a coincidence that the good book says that he deceives the whole world. We're so caught up in the enemy's power and the enemy's capability. There's this tough battle going on. And yes, I use that word, loosely and interchangeably. But the fact of the matter is, it's literally like turning on the light switch in the middle of a darkness, in the middle of a darkened room. The good book doesn't say he overtakes the world. He powerfully dominates the world. He conquers the world. It says he deceived the whole world. Deceived. Deceiving and being deceptive is different from just lying. A lie itself is just a clear-cut lie. There's no truth in it. But to deceive someone is to insert or to inject elements of truth with the lie. This is deception. If you guys, I don't too often see them nowadays, but they used to make these wickered furniture, wickered chairs, benches, all kinds of, maybe different wickered tables and all these different wickered items. And that's where the word wicked come from. Because that wickered furniture, for those of you who are familiar with it, it's all bended, it's twisted, it's folded, it's interlocked. And this is how the enemy works his wickedness with truth. Some truth mixed in with some lies, some false notions, some misinformation, some old wives' tales, some rumors, some hearsay, misdirections. But there's always that little bit of element of truth in it. And again, this message of today serves as a primary example of that. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to stop right here and make a chapter 2. In chapter 2, I'm not going to get as in depth with the testimonial, although I will, but just in an effort to be totally respectful of you guys' time, I may, kind of shorten that up a little bit and just refer back to this and other videos where the testimony is fully given. But I want to try to see if it's His will that I can get this done within one more chapter. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about this a little bit more. But I'll leave you with the fact, the truth, that we're not all created equal. And we're going to break that down and put it under a microscope, because there is an ultimate destination that I'm headed to along these lines or within this subject matter. So stay tuned to chapter 2. I'm going to pause this real quick, respect your time, and then I'm going to come right back and make the chapter 2. But that's what I got for you guys now. Hey, listen, I love you all. I'm so very thankful for all of the love, all of the support, all the different kinds of support, sending the emails of encouragement, the monetary donations, whether they 35 cents or $35 or $35,000, whatever it is. I love you all just the same. Whether it's just hitting that thumbs up on every single video, hitting the share button, leaving comments. I love you all for supporting this ministry, for helping this ministry. And He has promised that He will always be a helper to those who are helpers of others. So I appreciate that. I love you guys. I really do. With that, I'll get into the closing, which is to let you guys know, and just in case you're new to the channel, that this ministry is not based on religion. It's based on 3 pillars of belief. These pillars of belief consist of experiential philosophy for the mind, ISSA certified fitness training for the body, and clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices for the spirit and for the soul. These beliefs, so it's a holistic mind, body, and spirit ministry. These beliefs that I just mentioned are all merged, balanced, and synthesized, and then presented to you in the form of real-world services in an effort to help you operate at a premium in your mind, your body, and in your spirit. For more information about this ministry, or if you're interested in services, it's also an evangelical ministry, which is to say I travel throughout the entire United States. So if you have questions, follow-up, whatever the case may be, I'm going to leave a link down in the description with the email address so that you can send me an email. I also would humbly request that you guys please visit the physical fitness branch of the ministry located at mountfitnessmbs.com. That'll just give you a little bit of information as it relates to my experience and my expertise in the field of physical fitness training, diet, nutrition, and all that kinds of good stuff. I also, guys, would again ask that you guys please continue to support the ministry. You can do this by subscribing to the channel if you aren't already subscribed, and on each and every video. If you haven't done it on this one, take the time out right now. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination is the thief of progression. So reach over there, hit the like button and the share button. Doing this, you help this ministry grow, which means you help this ministry grow and become available to even more people. And when you take this message, if it's beneficial to you, you hit that share button and pay this message forward, then you're planting a personal seed for yourself, which you will receive a harvest. That's not my word, that's His word. So if you ever find yourself in a time or situation of need and you've helped others, He'll always make sure that there'll be someone there to help you. That's his rule. That's his law. It's not mine. If the Spirit moves you to help this ministry even further and make a monetary donation, I'm also going to leave a link for the Cash App down in the description for you to do so. And no matter what kind of assistance you pour into this ministry, he's promised you a return. And that's not, of course, just not what this ministry, but anytime you go out there and help someone. That's just what it is. If you want help, with your finances, you plant a financial seed. If you want help with encouragement, you plant a seed of encouragement. You want help with, someone forgiving you, you got to go out there and forgive someone. This is just how he operates, guys. So I do appreciate all the love and support. I believe that's everything for now. Look forward to chapter 2 on this matter, where we're going to break this down, put it under a microscope a little bit, because as I know, it could be a bit controversial. So I want to do my absolute best to put forth some clarity and do all of my due diligence when it comes to fully expressing the message and identifying exactly where I'm going with this particular message as well. That's what I got for you guys. I love you all. I do appreciate all the love and support. I'm going to encourage you guys, as I always do, to be smart, be sharp, be strong, and be safe. Be happy, be healthy, be humble, and always be courageous, because you already know this is not a walk for the weak. It's not a walk for the faint of heart. You already know that. That's what I got for you guys. I want to encourage you guys to also always remember that ultimately there's only 2 different paths in life. One of the paths leads to blissful ignorance. The other path leads to meaning, purpose, and fulfillment in life. The selection between those 2 paths for your life, the choice is in your hand. So please, choose wise. That's what I got for you guys. I'm out. I'll see you in the next one. I am Brother Minister Mongoose. And I will holler back. Peace.